Hello viewers, welcome to my channel, and today I am going to talk about variables. In my channel I have talked about C++, very basic. I just talked about IOStream, namespace, std. So I hope you guys check that video because I'm gonna give that on my descriptions box. You guys check it out. It's just very basic, and today in this video I'm going to talk about variables. So let's first talk about what is a variable. In my first column, you guys can see I have stated a variable is a container. So it's a container in C++ in programming to store data in memory. So remember, it's gonna store data and it's a container. So, and it's named variable. Next, see right here on the other side. Variable should have a name and a type of data it can hold. You might be confused what's the type of data she's talking about. So I'm gonna explain that more, what they mean by type and what they mean by a name. I'm just giving you some definitions. Next, see in the third one, here I'm talking about any variable must be declared or defined before it can be used. So it should be declared and defined before you will use it in your programming language. So let me explain what I mean by define, declare, type, and name. So let's get started with the type. So data type in C++ can be integer. So if you want to store integers, what is an integers? So all positive numbers and negative numbers are integers, no decimal. Double means if there is any decimal number or like any integer number, you can say double. It will cover both of them. Float is only used for the decimal numbers. If you want to store the decimal number, then you cannot use integer data type. You have to use float. Boolean is used for true and false. If you want to make a statement true or false, you have to use boolean. So bool is used. So here you cannot use integer in the programming. You have to use int. You cannot use double. The C++ is case sensitive. So if you use capital D, then it's not gonna work. So it's gonna be a small letter D, and then float is not gonna be capital letter F, and then boolean same thing, char same thing. Also char character. So if you wanna store a letter, then you can use char. So if I wanna store A, for example A, then I have to use char. So I hope you guys get what I mean in my variable when I explain that any variable should have a name and a type of data. So let's get started with a variable. Let's not talk too much about data type. If you guys need help, please feel free to comment in my video. I'm gonna talk more about data type and how you can write code using the data type. What is invalid and invalid variable? So how can you write invalid and what makes it an invalid variable? So I have mentioned before, I'm gonna mention it again, that variable should have a name and the data type. That's why I explained data type before. So in the variable, when you declare it or when you define it, you should have a name. First one, I wrote house owner. For example, I'm doing a code which is related to a house owner, and I want to name my variable house owner. So it should be a name. So I put house and then owner. So these two different words. So that's why house I wrote, and then owner, O is in capital S. Second, when I want to separate it, you just can't give a space there. It's gonna be invalid. No, you have to give this, not a space. So you have to use this house and then owner. This is how you are supposed to write. You cannot give a space. It's not gonna work. Variable shouldn't have space between words. The third one is said house dot owner. Period owner is invalid. This one is invalid. This one is valid. You can write like this. This one is also valid. What about this? What do you guys think? It's invalid. Why? Because there is a letter in front of six house owner. No, you cannot start with a letter. So this is also invalid. Then I have house owner percent. No, it's not gonna work. Why? Because you cannot have special character. You cannot have at the rate. You cannot have dollar. You cannot have those characters. So this is also invalid. So I hope you guys understand how to write a variable. So this first two is valid and last three are invalid. You cannot write like that. And what I mean by you should have a data type. So variable, this is how you should write. First you write the data type and then you write the name, house and then owner. This one is the valid one, and then you give the semicolon. This one we are declaring the variable. So the difference between declaring and defining, I'm going to tell you right now. So int house house owner, and then I give equal to 100. I'm giving a value to my variable. So this is define, and the top one is declare. So define a variable, and this one is declare. Okay, so I hope you guys understand the declare and define a variable. I'm gonna come up with more videos where I'm gonna do programming on my code blocks. And if you guys really wanna know how I download the code blocks, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment that you guys wanna see how to download the code blocks.